Hello friends, in the series of the income tax cases, today we will discuss the case of Dhanamveer Mercantile Private Limited versus Income Tax Officer. This case has been reported in 101 ITR Tribunal at page number 279 and the matter has been decided by Kolkata ITAT. The date of the judgment is 13th December 2022. This is a very latest judgment on section 68. This case is very important in understanding that what is the integrity of the summons under section 131. We have seen in our experience in the assessment of those cases where there is increase in the share capital, there is increase in share premium, or in other words we can say that in the year in which the share capital of the assessee has increased. In the assessment of those cases, the assessing officer uses in a very casual manner the summons under section 131. In this case also, the summons under section 131 was issued to the directors of the assessee company and to the directors of the investor companies who have invested into the share capital of the company. All those summons were partially complied with, because in those summons it was instructed that you have to appear personally, but in spite of appearing personally, whatever the documents were asked in those summons were supplied to the assessing officer. That is balance sheet, profit and loss account, bank statements and all other documents which were necessary to prove the identity, creditworthiness and genuineness of the transactions. The assessing officer was alleging that this is the initial year of the company and it is not possible that some investors were invest into the company at such a huge premium into the company. And the sole basis of the addition of the assessing officer was that he has issued the summons to the directors of the assessee company and the directors of the investor companies, and those directors have not appeared personally before the learned assessing officer, so he was making the addition. Apart from that, in this case it was very important to note that out of the 8 investors into the assessee company, 5 investors were being assessed by the department under section 143 subsection 3. This was an important aspect. But the sole basis for the addition was that non-appearance of the directors of the assessee company and the investor companies. The assessee moved to the CIT appeal. The CIT appeal also upheld the order of the assessing officer, so the assessee has to go to the ITAT. The ITAT observed that the assessing officer has not commented any adverse remark on the documents of the assessee and the documents supplied by the investors of the assessee company. There was no perversity found by the assessing officer. And apart from that, whatever the time was given to the directors of the assessee company and to the directors of the investor company to appear before the assessing officer by issuing the summons under section 131 was very short. Practically, whatever the questions were to be asked into the summons under section 131 were practically, all those summons were complied with by the assessee by supplying the documents to the assessing officer. But without commenting any comment, without finding any adverse remark, without finding any perversity in those documents, the additions were made solely on the basis that the directors didn't appear before the learned assessing officer. So the ITAT said that this cannot be the basis for addition. Once the identity and once the notice is being served to the directors, then it is conclusive proof that their identity is established. So the additions cannot be made on the basis that the summons were not complied with, in the sense that the directors didn't appear personally. So friends, this case is very important. We should also take away some very important law point from this case, that whenever the summons are issued, and if you feel that you are not comfortable with complying with this summons, then at least you should submit the documents, whatever the documents have been asked in those summons, by getting it received into the department or by sending it through the speed post. But at least they should be complied with. At the end of this video, once again I am repeating the name of the case. The name of the case is Dharamveer Mercantile Private Limited versus Income Tax Officer, and this case has been reported in 101 ITR Tribunal at page number 279. The matter has been decided by Kolkata ITAT, and the date of the judgment is 13th December 2022. Thank you friends.